What up, YouTube family? So in this video, I'm going to share with you my $1 million wholesaling real estate funnel. Okay, so for those of you, if you're new into the game, this is going to help you clear a lot of things up. And hopefully this will help you take you from where you are to where you want it to be, whether that is closing your first deal or your next deal, or maybe just kind of organize your funnel a little bit so everything kind of flow more smoother. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, be sure, boom, smash that subscribe button. And if you enjoy this video and it does add a lot of value to you, then be sure to, boom, smash that thumbs up, okay? So I think you're going to really, really enjoy this. And I've never done a video like this ever before. So first off, let's talk about leads. So when the leads come to your pipeline, whether it's outbound or whether it's an inbound lead, right? Whether you're cold calling them or you're taking inbound lead, here is how it works. So first off, the lead comes in. The next thing we got to do is we got to filter and qualify your leads, right? So here's the 4 things that you need to understand. Number 1 is price. What do they want? Number 2 is time. What is the time frame? When do they want to get their property sold? Buy. Like when do they want to close and sell their house, right? 3 is motivation. Why do they want to sell their property? Motivation is going to dictate the price, okay? Finally, number 4 is the condition of the property. Those are the 4 things that you need to look for when you're on the phone with the seller, okay? Next is you're going to run comps. You're going to figure out what the property actually worth. Without knowing what the property's worth, which means you need to figure out what is the property worth after we fix it up and put it in perfect condition. Only by knowing that number, we'll be able to make the seller the offer, okay? So run your comps, make the offer. Once offer is accepted, once you and the seller come together to an agreement on price and it worked, right? Both agree, accept. Next thing is you're going to have the seller sign what's called a purchase and sell contract, right? A purchase and sell contract need to be executed for us to be able to wholesale the deal, okay? And typically, you want to lock it up for at least 30 to 60 days. All right. The longer, the better, because the longer we can tie it up, which means we get to control that property for X amount of time. Okay. And it allow us to obviously, find the right buyer to sell the deal. So typically for us, we lock it up for 30 to 60 days at a minimum. Okay. Once it's on the contract, the next thing you're going to do is get escrow open, which means this is when you send the contract to the title company along with your EMD, which is your earnest money deposit. You do not give it to the seller. You send it to the title company, okay? And a lot of you will be like, well, how much is the earnest money deposit should be? Well, for me, every single one of my contract, we put $250 as our EMD. But I also have students who only put $10. When I first started, it was only $100, right? So as long as they're, and I would say $10. Okay, if you're running on a budget, it should be good enough. Okay, you send it to the title company. Next thing is now you're going to reach out to the seller. You're going to get pictures of the property. If you can get video, it's even better. Okay, but you want to start getting pictures of the property, the outside and the inside, as much as you can. Okay. Then you're going to set up the flyers. Once you get the picture, you're going to set up a flyer. A flyer is, putting a picture, putting all the information of the property, right? How much we're going to sell it for, right? And then the next thing is we're going to market it and we're going to try to find the cash buyer for the deal, for the property, okay? Now, once you have found the buyer say, hey, I'm interested in that property. I like to see it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up what's called an inspection. So the buyer is going to go out and the buyer is the one who's going to inspect the property. So listen, I've been virtually wholesaling for the past 7 years. Been a real estate investor for 12 years. I've done the fix and flip, currently own 14 rentals, but I mainly focus on wholesaling because it's the quickest and it's the quickest and the safest way for you to make money in real estate and to scale it up to $25,000 plus a month. Okay, so we're gonna set up inspection. This is when you need to reach out to the seller, let the seller know my contractor is going to be there, and then you need to let your buyer know, hey, you're going to be there as our contractor to inspect the property. Now, once the buyer has inspected the property and they're like, yep, I'm good to go, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to have the buyer sign what's called an assignment contract. All right. This is the contract where they step in. They're going to take over your positions to buy the property. So they're going to sign what's called an assignment contract. After that, you're going to send that assignment contract to that title company, the same title company that you got escrow open with. Okay, send it to that title company. Next thing is they're going to set up closing. And the title company is going to do this. This is something you don't have to worry about. The title company is going to reach out to the seller, and they're going to reach out to the buyer. Okay, and they're going to say, hey, listen, this is the date, the time, boom. They're going to get them in, or they can send a mobile notary, someone to go out to their house. Let's say that the seller lives out of the States. They don't have to fly back to that state where they're selling their house to get everything signed. The title company can set up a virtual closing, a notary to go out to their house and get that paperwork signed, okay? Once they set up the closing, boom, buyer comes in, buyer signs, seller sign, and then the next thing is you're just going to wait for everything to close, and that's how you get paid. Now, the title company can either send you a cashier check, or they can wire the fund directly straight into your bank account, whichever way that you want, okay? When I first started, I loved getting checks, right? It's much more exciting, but now everything just wired to the bank. It gets a little boring, okay? So, for those of you, if you need help from start to finish, and you want to work with me and my team, and you want to be one of my students, Facebook family, comment the word mentor. Comment the word mentor. I'll send you the link, and I love to have you as one of my students. And we're gonna take you by your hand and take you from the lead all the way to getting paid. The entire process that you need to know every step of the way. YouTube family, if you want to be a student, I'm only now going to take on about maybe 4 students. Okay. So first come, first serve. It does cost. YouTube family, all you need to do is go to coachwithkhang.com. Okay. Fill out the application, book a call with my team, and hopefully to see you in there. Now, a lot of people are confused. A lot of times they're confused. So comment, let me know which one of these are you confused? And then I will try to help explain even a little better so you can understand which one of this process here that you're confused about. Okay? Now, if you tell me that you're like, Khang, dude, I don't have $100 or I don't have $10 for an earnest money deposit, then I'm telling you this is not the game that you want to play. Because if you cannot come up with that money to get a deal closed, then you don't have what it takes, my friend. Okay? You don't have what it takes. But this is the cycle here. Okay? Obviously, in between all of these, there's a lot of things that can go wrong or that can go on, right? But obviously, I don't have the time to explain it to you every single step of the way. And that's why that's why mentorship is great, because when you go through this process, if there's any hiccups, right, we're there to help support you and guide you and get you moving. And obviously the ultimate goal is get you to get here. It's getting paid. All right. But this is the cycle. And now I'm going to take a little bit moment. All right. This is going to be a little advertisement here. So listen, YouTube family, if you haven't grabbed my book and you're like new, you're like, Khang, I don't know where to start. And this is not, I'm not saying this because I'm biased, because it's my book, but I truly say this because I believe in it. We have over 600 5-star review on Amazon, and I truly believe this is the only book that you need to get started in wholesaling real estate. I believe that you should get rid of all the other mess, because when there's just too much information and mixed information, you're gonna make the wrong move. All right. So I typically say, hey, find one mentor that you were like, hey, you know what? I vibe with this guy. I vibe with this girl. I like their strategy. I like their method. I like the way how they do it. Dude, get rid of the noise, because the more you learn from different one, it's going to come into conflict, especially when you're new. So YouTube family, if you want to get a copy, okay, here you go, baby. All you need to do is go to WTMbook.com. And a lot of Facebook family, if you want to grab a copy, DM me the word book, B-O-O-K, and I'll send you the link. So we have over 600 5-star review on there. Now the problem is there is 1-star review, and the guy was mad that he said, Khang, this is not a book. It's only 46 pages, bro. So he said I was looking for a book, not a manual. So he was complaining that this is not a book because it's not long enough. But if you follow me and you know the way that I teach and you know me, I like everything, dude, short, sweet, and straight to the point. I like to cut out all the BS, cut out all the noise. It's unnecessary, which means that's why every single page that you open to is gold. It's direction. It's gold. There's no BS. I don't think it needs to be 200 pages when it doesn't need to. My whole thing is, my response to that person is, listen, when you get a couch, when you get a sofa, when you get a bed, when you get something that you're trying to put together, do you want a manual or do you want a book? Do you want to read through 1,000 pages, or do you like, bro, just show me? And that's how I am, dude. I'll just show you, okay? Now, if you already got the book, it would mean the world to me if you can take some time, go to Amazon, and drop me a review on it. I would truly appreciate you and truly extremely grateful for, okay? So let's, what else do I want to say? Okay, so those of you who got there, Derek said, hey, I got an end by putting 5K down EMD. You got a serious buy. If you got, yeah. Now listen, Darren, most of our buyers, typically we have a buyers that we're now trying to sell a deal that I think we're looking to make $35,000 on. And I always ask the buyer, how much can they put down? And my buyer said, hey, Khang, I have no problem. I'll do 15,000 and I can close this thing in 7 days, bro. Any buyer that tells you, hey, you know what? How about I do 500 and give me 45 days or 30 days? This right here, my friend, is not a legit buyer. This right here is just another wholesaler that's trying to tie your property under contract and find another buyer and just wasting your time. This right here is a time waster. All right? When you found a real buyer, they're ready to drop heavy. I mean, listen, if they are going to buy a property for $300,000 or $200,000, why would it matter if they drop, $15,000? I mean, this money is going to go toward their purchase price anyway. So why would they, right? Why would they be scared? I mean, when I started my real estate career 12 years ago, guess what? I started out as a fix and flipper. And when I get into a deal, guess what, my friend? When I get into a deal, I'll be like, dude, because I want the deal. So I want to let them know that I'm a serious buyer, that I'm going to close. Guess what I say? And this is how I know what the end buyer thinks, because I was the end buyer. And I think and operate like an end buyer. And that's why when I got into wholesaling, dude, I know how to filter and qualify my buyers. And some of you don't. And that's why you're wasting time with, I call them tire kickers or just a time waster. So when I used to be an end buyer, when someone bring me a deal, an agent or another wholesaler, I buy from wholesaler. I know, which is funny how everything's flipped. But I'll be like, dude, I want the deal. And this is what I say. What do I need to do to make this happen? And he's like, well, Khang, can you drop off this? I'd be like, done. When can you do it by? I said, by end of day. I'll be like, dude. And then they would ask me, so when can I close? I always say as soon as title can get the title, as soon as the title company can get the paperwork done and get a clear title to me. Whether it's 3 days or 15 days or 20 days, I don't care. But dude, I'm ready to go. I'll drop it off, send me the paperwork, I'll sign it, and let's get this rock and rolling. That, my friend, is the sound of a real buyer. Okay? When you get on the phone and they're like, you know what, how about $500? How long can I close? I need 30 days. Bro, come on, man. Shit. Now, I do want you guys to understand this, is that there are some buyers that will need a 15 days closing. Let me tell you why. It's because if they're going to use a hard money lender is going to need at least 15 days. So which is 2 weeks. for them to get all the paperwork done and get it closed. So yes, they're going to need 2 weeks, which is 15 days. That's max. Once again, any buyer that tells you 35, 30, or 45 days, they're not the real deal, okay? So before I end the live, here's what we got. So I got one more pitch for you, okay? So Facebook family and YouTube family. So I recently just launched what's called my school club, school community. And the whole entire goal for this club that I created is I want to bring you into a room to teach you more about wholesaling, if that's what you want to learn. But also, too, is I want you to bring you into a room and give you access to other real estate investors across the country so we can network, we can mastermind, we can learn and earn together, okay? And in there, I will share with you tips, tricks, secrets, and strategies that I've never shared on social media. And also, too, is you're not just learning from me, but you're also learning from other investors. They go in there and they share. For example, we're now all together, we're testing out this AI box, right? This AI box that will be your assistant, that to filter and qualify the lead on your behalf, right? And there are strategies that we share privately in there as well, just for the club member before I push it out. So if you want to stay ahead of the game, all right, ahead of your competition, and learn the newest tools, the newest strategies to stay ahead of the game and learn, Darren said it, and learn from the best of the best and be a badass real estate investors, you know, then I love to have you a part of my Wholesale 2 Million Club. YouTube family, link is right below. Facebook family, if you want to be a part of, you like Khang, dude, that sounds like me, then DM me or DM me the word school, okay? Cost you less than $2 to be a part of the club. But I always like to say, you know, the best investment is into yourself and into your business. And, you know, I pay $18,000 to go to this mastermind called The Family. And let me tell you this, one connection that I got from the family mastermind have currently made me $30,000 a month, consistently $30,000 a month. Little Miss Chocolates, oh my God, you're making me hungry. So Miss Chocolate, if you're on YouTube, the link is in my descriptions, okay? But from that one connection, so my whole thing is, you know, think about this. If you're able to be a part of it, one piece of information, one connection that you can make from that club. What if it helps you close an extra deal, helped you close your first deal, helped you to be able to JV and do deals with another investor that you would have not met or connect with if you weren't a part of it. You know, it's like when I'm live here on Facebook or on YouTube, you know, maybe Derek or maybe Darren or maybe Miss Chocolate here, right when I shut off the live, it's done. You guys can't connect with each other. You can't do deals. You can't chat. You can't network. You can't mastermind. That's what I want to do. Is let me bring you in there and give you exposed. And once again, give you the latest tips, tricks, secret hacks, and strategies on how to stay on top of your wholesaling business, especially in today's world, man. Things are moving so freaking fast. Like it's so fast that you have to adjust and adapt quickly. If you don't, you will left behind. You will get left behind. And I will share with you things where why am I still be able? It said air. Are you sure? Miss Chocolate, are you sure? Oh shoot. Are you sure? Can someone? Are you sure? Hold on a second. School.com WTM club. Yeah, /WTM club. Why would it say air? Did it say air? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, Miss Chocolate. So after this, I'll make sure that the link worked properly. Anyways, guys, I appreciate each and every single one of you that's here. I just got a text message, so I got to run to another meeting. All right, but I appreciate each and every single one of you here. My whole goal is I want to provide you as much information, as much knowledge as I possibly can, get you from where you are to where you want it to be. For those of you who's looking to be a part of my Wholesale Community Club member. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. And let's go get this money. I'm out, YouTube family. Thank you so much. I wish I could have stayed longer, but I got to bounce. Got another meeting.